Hi guys, how are you today? My name is Jessica.
And my name is Naphat.
So today's podcast involves famous serial killers cases that have been caught and not.
Because I remember watching one scene from a series, and that I remember the killers like called the police to about the body that they found in the forest and asked them to check it out. So the police went there and dig the ground up and check out to find that there's nothing there, nothing suspicious. So after the police went back to the station, the killer actually came to the position where the police dug up the soil and then put the body there. So they think that once the police actually came to investigate again, they don't uh, suspect the position because they have investigated it before.
Mm-hmm.
And just how, if you accidentally murder someone, how would you hide the body?
Well, it depends because, for example, I accidentally murder a person. I would probably try to chop the body up, then cook it or solidify the skin and meat out of the bones. Then, after doing that, I'll put it in acid and then take the bones and try to chop it up and blend it, and then try to pour it out of a mountain or something. So it's left. There's no body parts left of the body. But then yet again, there are so many ways a serial killer could have gotten away with murder, but also there are also those serial killers who also want to get caught.
Yeah, I agree. Those serial killers do want to get caught so that they can be admired for what they did or their murders. It's basically a pride to be the biggest and scariest serial killer and take pride in the numbers of the victims that they have. Like, for example, Sean Gillis, or you may know him as the other Baton Rouge killer, who tried to beat the original Baton Rouge killer, Derek Lee. And as the time progressed by, he became afraid that he was going to be outdone by the original killer. So he called the police to turn himself in and claim the victims, all the victims as his victim. That's like the way he think he can beat the original
Victim? Oh
yeah,
no,
the
original
original
serial killer.
Yes.
Yeah, and on the other hand, Edmund Kemper or the co-ed killer, he wanted to get caught because he just don't feel the urge to kill anymore. He killed women in college that reminded him of his mother. And well, with that information, one of his last victim was actually his mother. And after he killed his mother, he no longer had the desire to kill anymore. So he was simply done with killing. So he decided to just call the cops and turned himself in and talked about the murder.
Oh, but actually, some serial killers that there's a haven't been caught until like today. Yeah.
I mean, do you know about the woman named Julia Tofana?
Oh, is it about the woman who sell poisonous products for the women to kill their husbands?
Yeah. Actually, I think there was a headline that says, "Meet the woman who poisoned makeup to help over 600 women murder their husbands." Her name was Julia Tofana, as I've said before. She found a creative solution for the women in Renaissance era that need a divorce. She's considered one of the most successful serial killers. Julia Tofana killed hundreds of men in the 17th century in Italy when when she turned her makeup business into a poison factory, because she originally sold her deadly poison that is named Aqua Tofana, and it has been thought to be laced with arsenic, lead, and belladonna. And belladonna is a type of poisonous plant. And Tofana made it her mission and her business to help aspiring widows or women who wants to become widows murder their husbands, because during the Renaissance, I think it was like an era of arranged marriage where it meant that when woman is put into an arranged marriage, they aren't allowed to get a divorce. And well, basically after the arranged marriage, they don't really have a say because their family is always pushing them into those arranged marriage. And when they are being arranged into that marriage, their husband is basically the most powerful in the relationship. So when women get abused and all those type of stuff, the men don't really get called for their crimes. And the only way out of the marriage is basically death. So, that's why Aqua Tofana was created.
Oh, no wonder some women wanted to be a widow. I guess Aqua Tofana provided a quick solution.
Exactly. And Tofana as the Julia, was able to murder hundreds of men over the course of nearly 50 years without being caught, until in like a shocking twist of a bowl of soup, basically just because of a bowl of soup.
A bowl of soup?
A bowl of soup. Because so basically the story goes as in 1650, a woman served her husband a bowl of soup laced with some droplets of aqua tofana before her husband could take a spoonful of the soup. However, the woman had a change of heart and begged his husband not to drink it. And this raised the man's suspicion, and he then abused his wife until she confessed to poisoning the food. He immediately turned the woman into the authorities, and upon even more torture by the authorities, she admitted that she had purchased the aqua tofana from Julia Tofana. And with the authorities searching for her, Tofana escaped to a local church where they guaranteed her a sanctuary. And then that was until there was a rumor that Julia poisoned the water in the church. That's when the church allowed the authorities to come and catch her, and then they took her to the police, somehow a police station or court, then torture her even more, and then she ended up confessing to killing as many as 600 men with the use and sale of her poison between the years of 1633 and 1651 alone, making her one of the mastermind behind one of the most notorious murders plots in history.
Oh, I see. But she still got caught in the end.
Yeah. Basically, I think, though, she wouldn't have got caught if no one snitched on her.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, there's another story that the murder of the serial murders hasn't been caught or even identified yet. So, the Zodiac Killer is America's most infamous serial killers during 1960 and 1970s, who remain unidentified until today, though there were a number of suspects being raised in this case. But anyway, don't be panicked too much about it, because there are so many ways to catch them, and pretty successful in most cases as the serial killers get caught. So one of the method is the criminal profiling. Well, we know that the common characteristics of serial killers is the lack of remorse and empathy, a strong impulsivity, and the need to control. And these characteristics are common to the psychopath personality disorder. However, please do remember that psychopathy doesn't present in a total accuracy when it comes to understanding a criminal mind, that not every psychopath is a serial killer, but a number of serial killers present these psychopath traits. On the other hand, many murderers can be pretty charming and pretty manipulative and have a great self-esteem, but at the same time antisocial and do not value human life, and
basically like a pathological liars, right?
Yeah, something like that. And they also murder in brutal ways and treat the body in signature ways.
I mean, it depends, because I feel like each dead body tells a story. It could be how like a person was murdered, it could be from the open wounds or the lack of air, etc. It depends on each murderer too, because as you said, some murders leaving their victims some
signature
on their bodies.
Yes.
I think it was Ted Bundy who leaves bite marks on their victim's body. Fun fact though, living things on the dead body like maggots can actually tell how a person died by what time, what minute of the day, which day, after they found the dead bodies.
Oh, I guess mushrooms is really
Yes,
good.
actually, talking about mushrooms, if you bury somebody under like dirt and their body kind of like creates this chemical that help grows mushrooms.
Oh.
So basically, if you see an area that is like full of mushroom and a little bit of dome, there could be a dead body in it.
Okay.
Mhm.
So now I know where to look.
For dead, you want to look for dead bodies?
No? Could be. But however, in the end, as the police investigate and get closer to the murderers, the murderers themselves will eventually get sloppy as a result of mental or emotionally spiraling out of control. Or it could be that they are done with their mission, and as we have mentioned before, that they complete their pride
Mhm.
and get their prizes.
Already? All right. Maybe we should end it here for today before we go any deeper. Again, this is only for educational purposes only, and see you next time.
Also, make sure that you don't kill anyone and don't do it accidentally either.
And don't forget to like and subscribe.